Yes. This is the HL Podcast. Today's date is April 29th, 2025. The show is presented by way of StreamYard, and we are live on YouTube, Twitch, and IG right now. This is the podcast for the people. I am Roc. That is Devontae, and we are blessed to be here. What's up, Devontae? How you feeling, man?
Man, I'm good, man. Get to talk film, get to talk culture. I'm good, man. It's a good relaxing. Get relaxing right now.
Yes, sir. And we're gonna be joined by Gary, aka DJ No Name, shortly. All right, you should be joining me shortly because this is episode 123, and we got a lot to discuss. I know y'all been waiting on that Sinners review from us. We gonna give it to you. It's finally here. This is the episode. Pay attention. We're gonna get into it.
My bad, y'all. It's my fault.
It's all gravy. It's all great. You know, people gotta live. They gotta pay bills. They gotta do what they gotta do.
Man,
yes, it is Devontae's fault. All right,
it really was though. I told Roc I was gonna see it Sunday. I didn't get up from the couch, y'all. No, I sat down.
No, that film, it was pretty well done, and it still leaves a mark. But we definitely gonna get into it. Of course, people, the world of mega. All right, you know what the hell is happening with the Trump administration now. Every day it seems like a whole damn new saga. Saquon Barkley and Jalen Hurts, all right, had two different responses to the White House visit. We will discuss that. All right, obviously the NBA playoffs are still underway. Some teams have made their way to the second round. Some teams are still fighting for playoff, not playoff position, but trying to get to that next round. So we're going to talk about those series and which series are intriguing and which player currently still in the playoffs needs a chip the most for their legacy. All right, we're going to get into that as well. And then our top 5 or 10, we're going to talk about the top 5 actors and actresses killing it in film today. All right, we call that our lucky 13. All right, I know it's going to be probably something that Devontae like, who the hell? Why you got this person on the list? Why you don't have this person on the list? Of course, I know we're gonna get into it. But first up, people, as we always like to do and start the show, most known, unknown. Okay, now this is dedicated to legendary person in film, the great costume production designer for film. All right, Ruth E. Carter. Okay, she has done her thing in multiple films. All right, including recently Sinners. All right, and also Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, Love and Basketball, Do the Right Thing. All right, What's Love Got to Do with It? The Butler, Selma, Marshall, Coming to America, Amistad. Just a remarkable resume. That she finally got her just due with Black Panther and winning an Academy Award. She was nominated multiple times, including also for Malcolm X, Amistad as well. So she, is a legend in the game. She's been doing this now since the 80s. When she got out of college, she went to Hampton University right here in VA. And just, has been doing her thing ever since. She's been a long time partner with Spike Lee, and now certainly working with Ryan Coogler in all his projects from Black Panther 2, Sinners, and going forward. I think his next project is going to be X-Files. There's going to be Black Panther 3 as well, which I'm sure Ruth Carter is going to do. But, just a little in the game, all right? Black women, especially something like costume design, right? Like, especially in film, that doesn't get its just due, nor do Black women in film get their just due. So just want to give a shout out, man, to, send her flowers to Ruth Carter. Again, she just did her thing. And of course, Sinners, we're going to get into it. And costume design and production was a big part of that film. But shout out to Ruth E. Carter. You get on that? You got anything to?
Oh man, it's a goat. Like, it's a goat. I had to check real quick. I pulled my phone. Yeah. Like, wait a minute. Look, when I went over the script, I didn't see her name. I was like, wait, Ruth passed for a second. I got scared. I was like, wait a minute.
No. Giving her flowers, man. Give her flowers.
Nah, I read it wrong. I was like, nah, she a goat, man. Like what she did, especially we're gonna get into it, but Sinners, Black Panther speaks for itself, and all the other movies you said, she a goat. It's one of those things to where I think the older I've got it, I started to look at the costume design like, dang, they really like did that. Because some of these movies you watch and say, yo, that's a little cold fit on how they put that piece together and like how everything's designed and just everything overall. Like, but yeah, she cold, man. She go.
Yeah. Some of her costumes on display here. Some of these.
Yeah, bro. Like.
Yeah. So yeah, just putting in. I mean, like the fabrics and the.
Yeah, bro.
Finding the fabric, finding the right color, obviously starting with researching the history of Africa, South and Mississippi, and it's a lot to that people don't understand. People think you just go to a thrift store and find these costumes. No, make them and design them. Like she got her own set on a runway, like how
bro, like
so. It's just dope. It's just dope.
You know what's crazy though? I would say too, and this is something we'll tie back. I was going to tie back in later, but with the movie when we touch on it. But I think just continuing to shout out to like Ryan, because it's like even as much as you want him and Michael B to do movies together, like yo, bring her too. Like you know what I'm saying? Bring the work. Keep working with your people. You don't need to get a whole new squad. Just keep working with your people and building, and look how far it can go. So
absolutely, no, absolutely. People, HL News, about to get into it. Again, we were highlighting during the intro that with this Trump administration, clearly, it's something new every day. All right. Now they're talking about potentially, actually not potentially, they are expected to start garnishing wages for people who do not and have not paid back student loans. Okay. Recently, the Supreme Court as well stated that ICE and any local police can enter anyone's home, okay, if they suspect that you are hosting or that home is hosting, quote unquote, illegal aliens, okay, or illegal people in this country. And then also with Trump, reportedly the worst presidential 100-day approval rating in history, okay, in presidential history. But I asked this question: what does all of this mean for all of us, regular people like you and I? Right? They talking about now in Seattle. The ship docks are clear, and that means come 2 weeks from now, you might not be having that same food supply that we've been getting, right? There's a lot of uncertainty as we've been highlighting, over the, literally since even before he got in office. And right now we are joined by DJ. No, what's good, man? How you feeling?
Man, I'm on the move with it, staying busy.
What up, Eric?
Well, look, man, appreciate you joining as always.
Yeah, for sure. Thank y'all for always having me.
Absolutely. And right now, we're getting to again this Trump administration, right? Obviously, again, there's something happening new every day. There's a lot of uncertainty. Again, as I highlighted, right now, they're expected to start garnishing wages of people who haven't paid back student loans, right? The Supreme Court has ordered that local police and ICE can enter anybody's home if they now suspect that you are potentially hosting illegal aliens, right? And also Trump himself has had the worst 100-day approval rating in presidential history, okay? But again, I asked the question, what does all of this mean, right? All of these things don't affect the average person, but, how should we, I ask you guys, how are y'all feeling right now with all of these things that are coming out each and every day, what the Trump administration is doing, not willing to do for the people? Obviously, again, it feels like they are obviously not only stripping Black people and trying to, strip away our history, right? Like trying to take out slavery at the African American Museum in DC, just those different things, right? That's clear, but I don't think the average American person realizes that this is where it starts, right? Garnishing wages, potentially your student loans, right? Entering your home. These are the type of things that start a Holocaust, slavery, right? All of those different moments throughout our history where traumatic things happen. There was a beginning. There was how did it start, right? Or what was going on before then? Or this is how those, and I'm not trying to scare anybody. Lord, please, let this not happen. But these are how these things start. And I think people still aren't paying attention enough because a lot of these things aren't affecting them. So how are y'all feeling right now about that?
Well, as far as the student loan part, I'm looking into it and see because I'm right now finishing up school now, but it's okay, you finish your master's, then what? You about to tax me, or are you saying too because I'm deferring it because I'm in school? Are you about to tax me? And either way you put it is I expected that part to come because when the last administration couldn't get it going, I already knew what was coming next. Either they were going to waive it or they were going to be like, oh, you need to pay your debt. That just applies to everybody but the president. But and as far as the whole ICE situation, that it's I don't know what's legal and legal anymore. What's illegal and what's legal no more because the lines are being blurred so much that they're letting them get away with whatever they want. But it seems like they can do what they want. But then when Amazon wants to put a tariff price on their on their prices, and then now it's being, oh, that's too harsh. Why are you doing it? Because they know where it's coming from. They don't want to. It's they don't want to. I'll say it this way. A lot of times, I work in human resources. I'll have situations to where leaders would know the answer to the question, but they want me to give them the answer for they don't look like the bad guy. Well, human resource said this. It's you already know what the answer is. Why are you coming to me to try to get me to say it for you? And that's why I feel like this administration is. It's we know who it really is that's giving that, but they want to push the buck that it's somebody else or it's not Trump, it's not everything else. But overall, I'm not surprised. I think it just sucks. I do think we are now in a recession. If people don't want to notice or look at it, and I'll just say save your money, spend wisely. Don't just spend to just be spending. Move calculated. So.
Yeah, and I was going to just echo everything Des said, honestly, because I really it seemed like every day is something new. And then you got to look into it. Just I'm looking more on tariffs now because Adidas, they just came out and said the prices might jump. And they ain't even get into context to where how long that'll take it to affect this, that, and the third. And I rock Adidas a lot, especially their basketball shoes. Their basketball shoes been going crazy lately. And like I said, it's just every day is something new just to look into. And how does this affect me, my surroundings, my people? And just like you said, for those who aren't paying attention and not to the point to where they're getting affected and they don't even know it. Mm-hmm. So it's that's the whole thing. It's the happy medium. Where is it at? And I even got a question for y'all. How close do y'all think, even more than ever, compared to the past presidential term, I would say we are close to a civil war? What would y'all think about that? How close y'all think we are to that? If you think it even come to that?
Go ahead, dude.
I don't know. I feel really it's just no different than a recession. We are. I think we are in one. I think when we think war, we think a lot of more violence, but I don't think we think the war that's happening economically right now with us. The world, as far as technology wise, so I think there's so much that's going in. It's not so much for the physical part of it, which is happening in most spaces, which you're seeing. Like it is. So I think, just like I said, we're in a recession. I think we're at war right now. I think some of it is with ourselves, some of it with other people, but I think it's best to really start looking how, just reassessing. I think that's the best way I could say it. But I do think we are at war right now. Not your typical war.
You're right.
This warfare is a little bit different. And you know what I'm saying? Like, like I said, everything is being weaponized against us, from TV being propaganda against us to how you access, to how certain communities have access and certain don't. It's just, they keep moving the needle. Like, why do you think right now is payback student loans? Because go look at the numbers where it comes to minorities getting degrees and everything like that. Like, when you start looking at these things, it's like, oh, now college is not that important. This is what's going to do now. They're going to continue to move the needle, but we are at war now. Not just for us Black people, just a decent ass human being in general. It's just some people don't want to get it, some people don't realize it, and until it's too late. But like, that's why I said the best way. A lot of people look at your average American. Like, we should all have like 6 months of income saved. Nobody's able really to do that.
I look that up a lot too. Like when it comes to savings, fam, I be randomly looking up stuff like the average household and like this. I be like, that's real.
Yeah. So like, that's my answer to it, is that we are at war right now. And I would just say, like, I think before it gets to more violence, it will come in its way, that how it comes. I just think economically, all you can do is just save up for yours. I mean, it's, and do what you got to do. Like, to save up. Like we've been paying off our debt and things like that. But, I'm looking at a promotion, what I'm saying, to offset stuff, because it was really that's the only way you can get ahead right now, because until you got 4 years, we're not even in the year one yet.
Right.
And look where we're talking. So just imagine this time next year, and all I'm going to say is start economically first moving, but we're at war right now.
Yeah, I think it was Age of Ultron, and Ultron stated, I think you're confusing peace with quiet. And to Des's point, we've been at war, right? Things have just been quiet. We've been in a race war. We've been in an economic war. We've been in a rich versus poor war. And things have just been quiet, right? People have gone about their day, all right, the rich have this, but, we're getting by. Well, and I just think, or Black people over here, white people over there, some whites don't like us, some whites do, all those different things. And I think now it's just coming to a head because of who we have in office. And for whatever reason, people didn't expect this. I know we all did expect this or something like it. Obviously, we thought maybe it was going to be a little bit more spread out and not just hit us in 100 days with a whole bunch of shit. But we did see this. And I think people are just blinded. Like I said, I really just think people confuse peace with quiet, because everything was quiet. And, even Black people, right? Like, oh, we're not where we were, in the 1950s or 40s with racism. Yeah, but it was still there. It was just quiet. And this is the type of person, and this is the type of administration, and people still in this country that pass down racism and bigotry. This is what ultimately is happening. So yes, a civil war, a economic war, a class war. We are in all of those right now. And again, it's just being brought back up to the forefront, mainly because of just how, bold and outrageous this administration is, unfortunately. And this isn't the first time we've seen it. Reagan was the same way. But Bush 1 and 2 were this way to an extent. But the way that they're going about it is just loud. They're just not being quiet anymore, about it, right? I think I was watching Hip Hop Evolution. I don't know if y'all watched that on Netflix. But they were talking about East Coast and West Coast war, and Exhibit was talking about, how, like, like when Tim Dog dropped, F Compton and all that stuff, right? And how it was just pockets of people who did mess with the West Coast and East Coast and all of that. But then when Biggie and Pop came along, now it was them just saying it out loud. Like, that's how this is right now. It's just, it's just out there right now, more than ever, primarily because of social media, but also, because of this president and this administration that's in office. So we are at all of those wars right now. Yep. And speaking of a little division, okay, my Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles. All right, unfortunately, Barkley. They had two different ways of handling this White House visit, right? Saquon, was very, American. I'm proud. Like he hit us with the Nelly. I respect the office. All right, I respect whoever's in the office. Okay. But Jalen Hurts said, I got a little scheduling conflict. I got a dentist appointment. I ain't gonna be able to make it. All right. Along with Devontae Smith, along with AJ Brown and others. CJ Gardner-Smith, I believe, didn't go as well. Even though he's no longer with the team, he still didn't go. And Saquon came out and said, "Hey, look, I hear people criticizing me. It is what it is." Because there's also a picture of him, chilling, and Trump's like doing the whatever he signed, he's doing. Obviously, they were clearly just chilling, hanging out. To him, it's meeting the president. No matter who's in office. Hey, I won the Super Bowl this year, and he just happened to be the president. Had we won it 2 years ago, it could have been Biden. Had we won, that's a valid point. But with all the responses, I guess, are we? I don't know about y'all, but I'm especially with Saquon, knowing personal things with him. I'm not surprised. Are you guys surprised by their?
I'm probably the latter. I've never cared. I'm gonna be honest. This is me. I could care if they go or don't go. I've never been a person that doesn't move me like it would other people.
Right.
Like, and I'm gonna take Chrisette Michelle. Like, I feel like she was punished when she performed, but as a performer, that's her job. And I think you're supposed to have. There is a standard where you're like, all right, where you pull the plug, but like. I just think at the end of the day, like, they're gonna do, like, Saquon going doesn't move me, and it does not. Like, he can go do what he wants because I think that's his freedom. I don't think, and I think that's where it. I may not like. I'm not a person where if I got invited, I couldn't. I'm gonna say right now, if I got invited, would I go? Probably not. But I never got an invite, so I can tell you what I would really do in that situation because it is like, Rock, you closest in the White House than me, and you probably seen it a million times.
It would be a once in a lifetime. I mean, because to get in the White House, you got to pass the background and the clearance and all of that. So it is potentially a one in a lifetime opportunity.
But I would say how I tend to look at it, like, my wouldn't be going is because how some of my people feel. Like, I wouldn't think, I think of my pops, he don't like to be put out like that. He don't mess with his administration. So out of respect for him, that's why I wouldn't go, because it has nothing to do with the administration. It's just like, that's not a moment he's going to feel like he can look at it, make and feel proud. And I'm his son, and I wouldn't want to feel a certain way on that. That's just me. You know what I'm saying? So I've never really been moved by it. Like, I think people should be allowed to go, but at the same time, I don't expect everybody to agree with it. I do feel like, and I like how you worded it too, Rock, because I do feel like, not to make it so long-winded, I do feel like it's tough because that's their freedom, but at the same time, they're taking other people's freedom. So how can you do that? And I don't agree with respect the office no matter what. And what I mean by that, let me be very clear. I do agree with respect the office, but where I don't agree with it, respect is something that's given. So if it's not being given to us as the people, it's hard to give that back. And that's where I leave that. Like, I don't have this administration. Rock heard me. Oh yeah, They won. I ain't go one way or another. You won. It is what it is. Let me see what the man do. He's doing nothing no different than what I expected him to do. Like, so, but I don't say, hey, respect the office, because Obama was not respected when he was in office. And I literally saw a lady point her finger in his face and get in his face. I've yet to see, don't get me wrong, I've seen people say off the wall things to Trump, but at the same time, like, Obama was completely disrespected in his office, and we just saw what happened with Kamala. So like, I it's hard for me to say that when, you know, I've seen people were literally calling Obama the monkey in the office. They got mad at a tan suit, but you're going to say respect the office. That and reason I don't like that is it's to me, and I'm sorry to make this longer, it's like shut up and dribble. It's like, you know, comply. And like, that doesn't apply. Like, you got to start being clear and direct when we're saying it. And that's why I'm kind of elaborating a little bit. So I'm saying overall, I have a problem with Saquon going. I have more of a problem to the people who care so much about it, because Saquon was never like, you know, I got more of a problem. He put up a Kobe statue. That was more of a problem. If you want me to keep it 100, like, I have more of a problem with that. And I could be wrong. I have not looked. And I'm glad Vanessa Bryant hasn't really said anything. But like, I'm like, why are you putting up a Kobe statue? Because like, let me stop before I get on that. Boy, let me stop if I get worked up. I'm trying to be good, y'all. But like, nah, yeah, I don't. So yeah, to each his own. Because if one of y'all had that opportunity, like, well, I for sure, damn sure, no Roc ain't going to that shit. But like, but if still, like, I wouldn't care if you did go or not. I'm going to be happy for that moment. But I understand those who are offended by it. Because for me, I would not do it out of respect for my pops. Like, he wouldn't be cool with that, and I would like, nah, I ain't that serious. Fuck it.
Well, so yeah, y'all both make incredible points, because I didn't even. That's like the way you broke it down. I didn't even look at it that way. I simply looked at it look at who Saquon is married to. And I just left it at that. That's how I took it the whole time. And that's what you point out is like basically like it is. Every time a champion wins, I am curious of who's going to go and who isn't. And because it is about a standard. And then at the same time, that isn't a once in a lifetime opportunity. It just so happens that, you know, old dude is in there right now. So yeah, y'all both make real good points when it comes to that. And yeah, like I said, my whole thing was look who he's married to. I'm not surprised at that at all. He just kept it moving.
Yep. Go ahead.
I was going to say, and the reason I'm going to dumb it down, and this is what I'm saying, think of it on the smaller scale. Like, it's plenty of times, like, you may have an ex you don't rock with no more, and you like, man, nah. But then you have homies that they was good people. Like, we cool. We just think like that. Or you may have a homie is like, we ain't cool, but they. And I've always just been like, I'm Switzerland. Like, unless it's some bullshit to pop off. Like I said, I think about my people a lot of times with stuff. And if I'm gonna move a certain way, then I'm gonna have a conversation with that particular person to make sure I'm not moving out of pocket. Because I wouldn't want to do as y'all's homie, y'all's brother. I ain't gonna do nothing that kind of disrespects y'all if I'm moving this way and vice versa. You know what I'm saying? But as far as this administration and this is just my 2 cents. For me, it's for out of respect for my pops. That's why I wouldn't. But I don't blame nobody who would want to do it. That's a once in a lifetime opportunity. But I feel this way more for Kashette Michelle, because I always felt it was unfair for her. I get why people didn't like it, but as an artist, there's been plenty. I can't say what I want to say because I'm not gonna put these shows out. It's been plenty of shows that there were great opportunities for me. Looking back at it, who I am today, I probably wouldn't have done the show. But at the same time, like, I have some people who weren't happy for that. But it's hard because when you're an artist, and this not Saquon's not an artist. I'm just looking at Kashette, really. It's hard because those opportunities don't always come every time. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be. But Saquon, like, ain't even who he married. I'm just not surprised. He went to Penn State. Like, I wasn't surprised if the homie Jen watching, she'd be like, "What?" Because she loved Penn State. But I was like, it don't surprise me. I ain't mad at it, bro. Like, but like, so.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's definitely not as far as both of their responses, because Jalen Hurts had already alluded to not going. I mean, the Eagles, the whole was thinking about not going, the organization. Okay, respect the office, but who's in the office? All right. To your point, Des, right? Like, like okay, respect, but does the office respect us?
Mm.
But this is also, and to quote, to give another quote, Damon Wayans, when he was on Club Shay Shay, he said, the more money you get, the less black people you see. And so this is just a reminder that, especially black athletes or black entertainers, whatever with money. Yeah, I mean, you're already married outside of your race. So you already made that economic and political statement. But then who you have around you other than your teammates, you're probably not in a community where, now he's from the Bronx, he lived in Jersey, but once you start making money, you're so far removed from that. You're so far removed from the people and what's going on. Like, again, to our point earlier, you don't care about student loan debt because that doesn't affect you. You don't care about your mom or your grandma potentially losing their Social Security because that doesn't affect you. You don't care about illegal alien coming into your crib because Trump already put you on the list to make sure that nobody comes into your home because you decide to show him love. Right. So, but you can also move that way because money and of the status that you have, which again is far removed from the average black person here living in America. And so, but you made your political statement already, to your point, who you married. Just call it what it is. That is a political economic statement, because marriage is more than love, as y'all may know. Relationships, marriage, it's more than the lovey-dovey, all of that. It's an economic, political, cultural statement that you are making. And so, hey, it is what it is. Again, not surprised at all. I mean, but again, it's to Des's point as well. Like with Obama, there were plenty of hockey teams that won the Stanley Cup that decided we're not going to go to.
You can pull them up. You can pull them up. Like,
so, I think also too, people just wanted to take those pictures to stir up the pot. Also, like, oh, hey, Eagles, y'all so pro-black as an organization. Y'all got all these black players. Well, here's your one black guy who, is fucking with Trump, and it's like, I mean, we kind of suspected that already. Like, he already made his political statement, so we're not surprised here. And again, when you have that money, when you have that quote unquote fame, you're so far removed from the main issues that are going on with your people. You may know, you hear it on the news, you can't necessarily hide from it, but you don't have to worry about it. You can chill up in the White House with Trump and not have any worries. And that's where they're at right now.
I think so. I think that's, and I look at it like when Cube went, man. Like, I was one of those people who wasn't mad because Cube went. I think that, like, and the reason I say it, man, one of my favorite books and one of my favorite films is Spook Who Sat by the Door. You know what I'm saying? And I just think it's, and I'll put me out here. Like, the way I move, like, especially, I ain't about to say my job because people, I ain't got time for them to be like, well, you need to make it clear. Yeah, but like the way I have to move at work, it's like that. And I ain't even talking code switching. It's just like I have to work with a bunch of people who I may not agree with everything politically, and we've had those talks. But at the same time, I've learned that people are just people. I choose to make my decisions based off how my people feeling, and then I'm like how I feel it, because I may get an invite, Trump invite me, and I'm like, I'm saying, yeah, my bad, but then my dad like, look, I ain't gonna agree with it because you my son, go. This is an opportunity for you. Take it. And I might take it. But then everybody be like, oh, I can't rock with him. And it's like, you really got to weigh those out, man, because, and I'll use myself mostly with voting this year. Like, I didn't feel comfortable with neither Rock or me. I didn't like neither one. But I cast my vote for Kamala. Rock talking about his people. You know what I'm saying? I saw how passionate my mom and my dad, my sister was for it. My wife talking to her. And I just like, all right, so I cast my vote there. Because I knew I was going to vote, you know what I'm saying? I could tell you too, and I'm not ashamed. I didn't know how originally I was going to vote, how I played out, because I didn't like my options neither way. That was just me. But I knew I was going to vote. And after talking to people, on all sides. I talked to a bunch of different people. I didn't just talk one here. Then I made my decision. And I think a lot of times where we're at in this political climate is in the defense of Saquon is like, yeah, that's cool. Like, yeah, we upset this. I'm not looking for these celebrities to be allies anymore. And I'm not even looking for these Democrats to be allies anymore. What I'm looking for is somebody who's truly sees the issue. And if you're going to take that picture with them, even on this particular time, it was their moment for that Super Bowl. But if you're going to go through that, cross that line over there like that, you better come back with something tangible for the people, because at this point, I'm not seeing where we're winning. I'm not seeing where people get anything back. It's like, and I'm over the optics. I'm not going to say certain people's name right now because I want to see how they play out, like certain political pundits who you want to go argue with people and you talking Democrats. I'm talking about you right now. It's not cute. I'm cool. I'm over it, because at the end of the day, we're stuck with this for 4 years and I don't see anything tangible to get out of it. So Saquon's the least of my problems. I wouldn't expect more. I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't. The one who I respect the most out of it, because he doesn't never say nothing, is Jalen. Jalen's so stand up that he just avoids it, because you knew, like Rock said, when they asked him, you already knew he wasn't going. He didn't have to say one or the other, and he just didn't go. Like, and I think at the end of the day, we are. I don't know, bro. I'm being honest. I'm still figuring myself out with a lot of this political stuff as far as how I want to move, not so much with the people around me, but more so of how I want to move in helping those around me, because it's like people need help, man. It's hard when you got one of the homies, his cousins getting deported and you can't do nothing. Like, you know what I'm saying? But if I go cast a vote this way, I'm not doing anything to help. It's hard when I saw a video where they talked about a baby was getting deported. And I'm like, y'all taking babies? Like babies? Like we doing that? And if you're doing it for that, then what's going to happen with me? Like, you know what I'm saying? So I really don't know. I enjoy these conversations and just doing this more than just a podcast for us and talking, because it always gives me other insight. But Saquon's like the least of my problems, and I just think at the end of the day, I'm not mad at him. I'm not surprised. I don't even know why we're talking about teams going anyway at this point, because who's fitting the bill? Who's fronting that bill? Like at this point, like, because I don't care if a team goes to the White House. This is not the 80s. I could care less. Like, you just better repeat. That's what I care about. So I don't know. That was just a long bunch of probably nothing. But like, I don't know, man. I'm just kind of like, this administration is doing enough damage to where it's like, to say respect to who's ever in office, the only thing I continue to say is just like, yo, give respect too. Like, don't be disrespectful. I done seen this man have the dude from Ukraine and he talked crazy. And I didn't agree with everything with the Ukraine giving money. I ain't saying to say it, because there's a lot of American people who need that. So I feel we're trumping them up, coming for some of that. I'm going to be honest, like just American, but I don't agree with all the war going on. Putin is a problem in itself. And I ain't going to say that too much, because Putin, if you're running this, don't come to my house. Like, we ain't got no problems over here. Poop. We good, bro. Like just stay where you at. But it's just kind of disgusting at this point to me, bro. Like, it's just like, it's hard to say respect the office when they just disrespected the shit out of a person who came over here. Canada don't want nothing to do with us. Nobody wants to do it. China, like them Chinese, they said, please, let's do this. Please, we've been waiting for the smoke. They like, So it's just like, and we're sitting here. Like, I'm gonna end with this. I saw a travel thing. I don't know if I sent it to all y'all, but when I got on Instagram, I saw like this. I'm gonna send it tonight, but I saw this Colombia travel. I saw this new spot in Florida, as far as like a all-inclusive spot, right? And the Colombia one looks so nice. And I told my wife, I said, I'd rather go to Florida. If you know me, I don't like Florida like that. And she's like, really? And that's because I said, I'm so scared to go out the country right now, because the way that they look at us is like, how do we, we're basically, how do we move? You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. It's a lot that I'm just reassessing with us right now.
I think if we Black people go out the country, I think we'll be all right.
You think we'll be all right? You think we come back to Africa because I want to go?
I think we'll be all right. I think they know most of us didn't vote for Trump.
We'll be all right. I saw some girl say, "I'm telling people I'm Canadian."
We're actually going to Toronto this year, so
that's gonna be nice.
Yeah, it's gonna get third time for me. Yeah, it's.
Oh, I need to know what that's like. I've never been. But,
yeah, me neither.
Oh, gotta go when y'all get to please. It's a totally different vibe. Like we were talking, and they just peeped our accent. Like it wasn't like, oh, you guys are American because you're black, or they didn't look at us like it was just, oh, you guys are American because how you talk. Like, you know what I mean? Like it was more so that like we didn't get the looks because we were black. It was probably more just because you're a little Americanized. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The air is fresh. Like trying to tell y'all, man, please, when y'all get the chance, go to I don't care, Vancouver, Montreal, where go to Canada. Yeah, y'all get the chance. People, sports, all right. The NBA playoffs again is underway. All right, so we got the Thunder have already clinched. I think Cleveland clinched last night. The Knicks could clinch tonight. Just the Clippers and Denver is a great series. The Knicks and Pistons is a rough, rugged 1990.
Yeah, that's my favorite one right there.
That series. The Lakers unfortunately are down 3-1. Everybody talking about Anthony Edwards bullying LeBron. The 40-year-old, nice, that's going against the 23-year-old with all the energy. Nice.
Say that again for the people who don't want to hear it.
It's like people are just crazy. But again, Cleveland clinched, Indiana, Milwaukee. Dame, please get better soon, man. It just sucks to constantly see Dame go down, man. He deserves.
See you in LA, Giannis. See you in. You see, I wore the green.
Dame and Giannis to LA, and I think LeBron would happily retire and join JJ Redick as the assistant coach of the. Seriously, I think LeBron would be like, you know what, I'm gonna step aside. If they could get Dame and Giannis somehow, they probably can get Giannis. But if they could get both of them with Luka, I think LeBron would say, I'm good.
The best thing the Buzz family can do is sell that franchise to LeBron because I wanted Kobe to have it.
He going for Vegas. He going for Vegas.
Yeah, he really.
I know, and that's where everybody gonna lose out because a lot of people gonna go play for LeBron. People don't.
Sure, but him, Jay-Z. I think they're gonna form a mega team to try to get Vegas. I just think. But playoffs underway. Who has been the most impressive to you guys? Who's been the most impressive?
None of them. Impressive. Nothing yet. I'm not impressed by none of them yet. Like it's only I can throw the Warriors out there, but it's like the Lakers. I wanted them to win their series, you could say. Mm-hmm. But like the Warriors, I kind of expected their veteran experience to win that series. If I had to pick a series, I think the Clipper and Denver one, and then the Piston one. Those two have been the best. But I don't see OKC was supposed to win that, and I don't think they would have won if Ja would have got hurt. I think they would have won at least that game. But I still don't. I'm not moved by nothing I've seen so far. I think the only thing that's shocked me at this point is I think the Pistons have the potential to be a very dangerous young team, or they may just be the young team that's hot right now. You never know. It's always one of those two. OKC. I'm feeling good. Like it's still where I'm at with them. I don't see them getting out because I still don't think they can beat Denver. Everybody should be beating Denver. Denver is just that good team because they don't have the Mike Malone. I just think that like that's how good it is. The Clippers, it's little brother. Like I can't see it yet. The Warriors, Steph Curry's just a bad man. Who am I missing? OKC, I'm not gonna take them serious to the Western Conference. If they get that far, then I'll be like, and whoever they're playing, and then I'll pick it because I still think Minnesota, they're not going to get past nobody else. They beat the Lakers. They're not. They're still. They're still not going to be enough because Rudy Gobert is soft. Ant is good, but he still need help. But yeah, I don't see nobody at this point. It is the Celtics. You could say Celtics. I guess I'll throw OKC in the championship, but I'm not impressed by none of it so far. I think it's just been good. I'm surprised the Bucks lost, but I guess Dame went down. It's a whole thing.
The Cleveland disrespect. Okay, the Cleveland disrespect. This team beat Miami by it was 2K.
I forgot they were in the playoffs. That's how relevant they are.
It was 2K out there. They beat them by 70 at halftime.
Let me tell you why I give Cleveland no credit. Let me tell you why I would never give Cleveland no credit.
They remind you of the Jazz.
Pretty much, bro. And then plus too, like when you look at Cleveland, bro, like that team. Let me tell you, realistic. Cleveland, OKC, Boston. I can't give you credit for something you shouldn't do. Like OKC should go to the title. Are we clear on that? They're the number 1 seed. They should go to the title. Cleveland should go to the title, and Boston should go to the title. But all of these teams is like your team is built to win. So until you do it, it's kind of hard to give you that credit because I've seen so many teams like that, and then they just fizzle out. So it's hard to get until they do it. Because at this point, what I hate, the Boston Celtics may win the title. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I don't like where this is going.
Yeah, it's a lot going on. Cause I was like, I didn't like that matchup for the Wolves. I'm surprised they're doing what they're doing to the Lakers right now. I had the Lakers like taking.
I had the Lakers beat.
Yeah, and then like I had the Rockets not handling the Warriors, but beating them in that series. But they missed like all kind of free throws last night alone. They shot themselves in the foot on that one. But I'm disappointed in the Bucks. I'm definitely disappointed in the Bucks. Like the Pacers is just having fun with them, fam. I don't know.
Darvin Ham was there. He had his hand in his pockets. He was there.
They got they still got Doc Rivers as a head coach. That's all we need to hear.
Yeah, that's why I still don't know why Doc is there, fam. They gotta get him out of there. And and speaking of Gobert, the Wolves got to get rid of him. I don't know how, and they got to get rid of Julius Randle. I never trusted him. He's not a threat. They got to get rid of him.
He not. Let me tell you why the Wolves are. They surprised me defensively. I still think the Lakers ain't gonna lose tomorrow. If they do, at this point, I'm not that surprised if they do. I had them picked going to the title because one, I'm a Laker fan. I'm not gonna not pick my team. But two, like I'm not hurt that they lost in because we were playing with house money. I think I said this a Rock. Like we're not supposed to be there. Like we have no center. We're like just fixing the gap, and we have a first-year coach. So all those, I think, and let me just get this Laker. ESPN, shut up. Like, please shut up. Because, like, I'm so tired of them. The Lakers sneeze. Like, even Kendrick Perkins. Anthony Edwards is going to get a title before Luka. What does that mean? Who cares? Like, if he gets one before Luka. Like, there's no way the Lakers were built to win it this year. And if LeBron didn't take that dumbass three, that yacked up three, and Austin Reeves had an open three, then the series would have been over. And plus, they didn't want to call a foul. At that point, I was like, just take the damn series. Ain't no point. But the Wolves, nah, they got to get rid of Gobert and old buddy. But yeah, that ain't it. Anthony Edwards ain't even gonna be on that team in like 3 years.
Yeah, no, he probably going to a big more. I can see him in Miami.
Hey, come on.
With Bam, especially if they can keep him. But the most impressive team, the Knicks have been, especially with Jalen Brunson's performance the other night, coming back when he looked like he was done for the series with that injury.
Yeah, I thought he was done at the end.
That was crazy. And then for him to come back and then ball the way that he did, Detroit had that game. That when they saw him, like the energy was just like, damn, this nigga back. Like what the and that like Cat was an incredible game from start.
Cat was going crazy. Cat was going crazy.
Yeah, he was going there. Look, we talking about who's the most impressive right now, and I gotta give the Knicks some
give
love.
Jalen all the credit. Don't give nothing to Cat.
Cat balled. He balled. I feel you. It was definitely Jalen Brunson, but Cat did ball. But Josh Hart.
29th. We're gonna check back in on Cat again in 3 weeks and see who's saying this again.
Yeah, nah, for real. But So out of like, so obviously there's some guys, right? Tatum has won, Jokic has won, LeBron has won, but SGA hasn't, Donovan Mitchell hasn't, right? You know, I'm trying to think of who else has not. James Harden, who's with the Clippers, right? Yeah. Who, you know, I'm trying to think of some other name, but who that's still remaining in the playoffs? Jimmy Butler, right? With the Warriors. Who do you think needs the chip?
Steph Curry
to solidify that. No, to solidify their, like, Steph Curry is top 10 already, man. Come on.
But he 10.
No, he's top 10. But I think in context with this one,
say it.
I had to agree with Des because I felt that way when they took care of the Celtics. Mm-hmm. They kind of had that feel too. But the way the Warriors is this time around, I think that's the
most people already have him better than Magic as the best point guard ever. Like,
but
with 4 and two MVPs, right? Yeah, I mean,
but let's call it what it is. If he gets this title, he may have passed who? LeBron James.
He ain't gonna pass LeBron James.
Look, see.
No, seriously. The issue I have with people talking about LeBron, people just look at 4 and 6. Look at the totality of his career. This man leads points, all playoff categories, all time in points, top 10 in steals, assists, and rebounds.
I agree.
It's all NBA 15 times, All-Star 20 times. The totality of here.
Okay, let's put that over here. But if Steph Curry gets his
if you want to constantly look at 4 and 6, then okay, LeBron's not better than most players if that's what we're gonna do. But
no. If Steph Curry gets that 5th title, here's what I'm saying. You can take LeBron off the table. You said he's top 10. I don't think he's top 10. I think he's top 5. But like
all time, he's top 5 already.
He's one of the top 5 players on that. You've never seen for everything else we praise all these other players for. Shaq is. When we say most dominant, who we say?
Shaq.
When we say the greatest all time, who we say?
Jordan.
When we say longevity now, who we say?
LeBron.
So when you see the greatest shooter of all time, and we don't insert that into a top 5?
Say Curry.
But he's not good enough to be top 5. That 5th ring will give him top 5.
That's fair.
So like, you know, the LeBron I'm just posting.
I'm different. I don't put Magic. I don't put Curry over Magic. I look at a lot of these people weren't even born. You know, they were born after 2000, right? Like, please, like, you know, get up out of here.
He ain't gonna get that. He ain't gonna get that.
Like, people don't understand basketball history. Like, they just look at now. And yeah, Steph Curry is balling now, but people forget how great Magic was. Like, again, because a lot of people are starting to forget how good Jordan was at this point.
Oh yeah.
Like, seriously, if we want to be for real about it, because you're seeing Curry, because you're seeing LeBron still going, because you've seen Durant, because you've seen Kobe, because you've seen Tim, a lot of people are slowly but surely forgetting about how great Jordan was as well. So, you know
what that is though, right?
We
are at the age where our elders were talking about Dr. J and all them.
Exactly. Yeah.
Now it's in that loophole.
But you know what I love about this era though? They be dead serious. Like, they be dead serious. Like, MJ is trash or MJ. They be dead serious. They are not trolling. They are not joking.
They're not.
They're saying, I love it. I'll be dying laughing.
I think it's some truth to some of it. Not MJ's trash. I think it's some truth to where. I don't think you could, like, they were making a statement about Giannis going into that thing, and they was like, "Oh, he wouldn't do what he was doing." Yes, he would. He would, like, Giannis.
They really forget. They don't know how physical. Even the early 2000s, that brawl in the Palace didn't happen for no. It was a physical.
Yeah. I agree.
Where as much as I love Steph Curry shooting and all of that, he would not be able to shoot this way in that era. With the fact that they would knock his ass down whenever they felt like it.
You heard him on purpose.
I'm telling you, no way. I'd be able to shoot at the clip. I'm not saying he wouldn't still be a great 3-point shooter, but at the clip that he does, The bad boy Detroit Pistons, you mean to tell me Joe Dumars and Dennis Rodman wouldn't have knocked his ass down or tried to injure him, and it would have only been called a personal foul? It wouldn't have been called a flagrant?
So we playing with those eras.
Pulled his shooting arm out his socket, and that would have been called a personal foul. No
so
way.
So you're saying Steph Curry in that era, we got to go back to that era, play by those rules, right? We're playing by those rules, right?
Continue.
So are we talking Steph playing? Are we talking about them coming in this current era and playing, or Steph going in that era?
In that era. No, in this era, Jordan would have averaged 60. Like, come on. Like
if Jordan would have averaged 60 in this era,
your boy Kobe would have
probably averaged 80. Hold on. If that's what I'm trying to say. If Jordan would have averaged 60 in that era, a man who I literally seen put OKC out by hitting a half-court 3-point shot.
I saw that shot too. And
that man can shoot anywhere. I don't care how physical they are.
You put him against the bad boy.
This is the Steph Curry problem.
I want to see that.
Thinking Steph Curry ain't tough. That man was not
even.
No,
nobody said that. Nobody said that. I'm talking about the rules. The rules. Nobody said Steph Curry ain't tough. Nobody ain't say that.
But why? What makes you think he wouldn't be able to do it? If Jordan would have 60, nobody would shoot threes there. That man gonna have 80.
Jordan only had 63 because who else was on the team? Who else was on the team? Jordan had nobody to pass the ball to.
That's it. That man Steph Curry.
Dennis Rodman, they would.
And plus, ain't nobody was handling back then like this man Steph Curry.
Chuck Daly would have told Dennis Rodman, take his ass out, and it would have been a personal foul.
It's cool.
They wouldn't even have suspended Dennis. That's how the rules were back then, bro. You remember the clothesline?
I hear you.
And they come on, that
doesn't work against them.
Foul.
That don't work against them. That just puts him at the free throw line. That's why I'm like, it doesn't work against him. We're assuming he'll be injured.
No,
he may not. And if not,
they would have injured that man.
Yeah, on purpose.
Personally tried. They tried to take out Jordan.
Came back. They do it now. Look at how they guard that man. They try to hurt him now. These people we all over in clothesline.
Stop it.
They do. Go watch some Steph Curry videos. Watch some Steph Curry videos.
The NBA, first of all, they got to protect their goal. He's one of their golden gooses. Come on now. We know damn well they
Steph Curry is not a golden goose in the NBA.
The NBA protects Steph Curry like the NFL.
No, they do not. Let me tell you why the NBA does not protect
Steph Curry. Now.
Because if the NBA protected Steph Curry, that means they actually care about the Warriors. And if they cared about the Warriors, you would not have that collective bargain agreement that you have right now.
No, they care. They care about the Warriors because they let Durant go to Golden State. What you mean?
But then why do we have the collective bargain agreement that we have right now? Because of the Warriors.
Golden State, and he changed it, and they said, but they let him still go, and they let him still get them chips.
Look, that's
you saw how they blocked Chris Paul from going to the Lakers. That's because they can't stand the Lakers and Chris Paul.
That's why years later they gave us Luka Doncic. That's the stimulus package. So I'm telling you, no, they don't care about Steph Curry like that. Who they care about like that, the golden child of the NBA, is Anthony Edwards. Because if you don't believe me, listen to ESPN.
I don't believe that one yet. I think more so they tend to the Europeans now. The Jokic, the Lukas.
Jokic for sure is one. No, and we're gonna talk about titles again. That's another one who needs a title. If you want to get down to it, because y'all, if it was Steph Curry or LeBron or Kobe with one title, they would never be talking about the end of it. Same with Giannis.
Again, Jokic will never be like everybody puts him as the GOAT center already. He'll never be the GOAT because again, I know there's Bill Russell, I know there's Kareem, I know there's Shaq, I know there's who
couldn't last in that back then. If you want to have,
but I think it's like he doesn't need another title for me to say, oh, now he's the. A lot of people are already putting him as the GOAT, but they don't know. Again, it's these 2000. They don't know history.
But that once again. I think that's the analyst. I don't even think it's so much these young. I think these young kids go off of where these analysts go. It's just like I said, Kendrick Perkins literally just did a take saying Anthony Edwards will win a title. And you know what? I'm breaking you on Devontae's mind. This is why I can't wait to this. This is why I don't care about the playoffs. I'm gonna be honest. I ain't even watched none of it really. I watch enough to see what I need to and then turn it off. Because Gary would only hear me talking about the playoffs. I ain't saying nothing about it because I don't care. You know why? Lakers are gonna look great next season. I've been trying to get to next season. How long now, Gary? I've been talking about this for 26 seasons.
Yeah,
and it's been coming. It's been coming. And let me tell you why, Rock, and this is where I'm leaving. Kendrick Perkins talking about Anthony Edwards winning the title before Luka. I turned that TV off so quick. I'm not saying it can't happen, but these analysts get so caught up in the moment and what it is here and what it is right now. And my problem is with it, what Rock said, first of all, and I'm trying not to make this about the Lakers, but you have a 40-year-old LeBron who put up 38 the other day? 38.
And they tried.
Nobody wanted. I only wanted the Lakers to win because I wanted LeBron to win it with Bronny just to see that. And if it don't happen this year, I hope it happens next year. That's all I wanted. I thought that would be one of the greatest moments in sports history. I don't know a time that has been done. So for me, right now, when I look at these, and it's the same thing with Trey Young. They love Trey Young. And now Trey Young is all but washed up. They act like Trey Young ain't washed up. He on a bad team. Anthony Edwards, that's why I call him the GOAT trial, because he's hot right now. But the way that Anthony Edwards gets to talk and say stuff freely, it was the same way when John Morant, before he got caught with that gun. They love John Morant. John Morant did one thing, the NBA punishing John Morant just for nothing. He's doing the same poses that Carmelo was doing, everybody else was doing, but now John Morant get punished. I can't wait till they turn on Anthony Edwards. You know why? Not because he's kicking my Lakers' ass. I love Anthony Edwards. I think he should be the face of the league. But the reality is the league don't want that as a face. And they want like a Jokic. They want that, but Jokic don't even want to be your face. Jokic may want to retire tomorrow. He don't
even care about Jokic. Don't even care about basketball. Like he's just like, this is a job. Like,
they don't even want the league don't even want OKC to win a title. That's how much, because you know why? I ain't never heard a number one seed not get talked about enough.
Like they're more Cleveland. They're not a big market, and they don't have the quote unquote big star. But again, SGA, he's a Canadian star. So
it's the league don't know what it wants. The league, because LeBron. Here's the reality is, because LeBron is older and he's about to leave, they don't know who they want to give it to. They don't know who, and then Steph Curry is all but out the door. KD is all but out the door. They truly don't know who they want to give it to. Dame is done. Like I ain't gonna do you like that, Dame. But you know what I mean. Like at this point, because think about it. Like, and when you really look at it, if the peak is LeBron James, none of these niggas can't even hold his water right now. Like, think about it. Other than Steph. Yeah, like just think about it though. You're talking about he broke Kareem's record. Let's take KD. Let's take all these people out. Who you see doing that?
For real. Yeah.
The only closest person realistically is Luka. And Luka, he got to learn how to play some fucking defense before we get that far. I ain't even give him like nothing. But like realistically, even Luka can't hold a candle to Bron. Like there's nobody. So the league is in trouble.
Stay healthy.
Yeah, my bad. That's why I was like, this shit. It's just a shit show. Basketball. It's been competitive. It's been great, but it's like it's a shit show because it's boring. Like when the Knicks and the Pistons, that's a fucking good ass series. That's a really good ass series. But everybody else, either they're gonna beat up on them like a Cleveland, like are you gonna have OKC? We got a fragment of John Morant. Like, but where is the competition at? It's a shit show. It's just so.
Yeah, I agree, especially during the regular season. That's why I barely watch the regular season. But playoffs, they take it back to. They dialing back on calling the fouls. It's more playground basketball in a sense. People. The moment everybody's been waiting. Right? Oh yeah. This movie was it was a great film. All right. Shout out to this duo right here. All right. Ryan Coogler, Michael B. Jordan. They are right now one of the top director-actor combos in the game. I think Des, I think you said it. They are the new Denzel and Spike Lee. Scorsese, De Niro's, right? All the Tarantinos, the Samuel Jacksons, all the great ones throughout film. Daniel Kaluuya now and Jordan Peele. I think that's a great battle. Like Ryan Coogler and Michael B. and Daniel Kaluuya. That's crazy. But there's a little bit more range with Coogler and Michael B. compared to Kalu. That's just going to be horror and suspense. You already know what they. But I'm gonna just kick it off by saying, again, it was a incredible film across the board. All right, incredible actors, actresses. All right, killed it. A lot of new talent, young talent, people who, oh shit, you didn't realize like they were gonna be talking like that, speaking like that. All right, the lingo and the language and how shit was in the South. It was a little bit more free with the tongue, and that has a double meaning. All right, so. That's just how it was back then. It was definitely the Klan was heavy, right? And I just like how the story went and involved all of those different elements, being in Jim Crow, Deep South, but also being able to express your spirituality. As a lot of people may not know, like New Orleans, Mississippi, those are because throughout history with the during slavery, slave owners were a little more loose with those slaves, so they were able to introduce and have their culture, the African culture, more in that New Orleans, Mississippi area. And so you saw that in the film represented as well, right? You saw more of that African culture intertwined with what was happening in Jim Crow America. The acting was incredible. Shout out to Michael B for doing the double role. That was dope. The story. An original, intellectual property. Ryan Coogler, again, I've always been excited about how he writes his films as well. Creed and Black Panther in particular were just incredibly well written. The cinematography, we shouted out Ruth E. Carter early and gave her props as far as, with costume design. The cinematography again was incredible. Just overall, just an incredible film. And again, the actresses, did they thing. The young actor, the singer, that kid,
he killed it.
And me and Des were speaking offline. I think the only critique was the ending. All right, I think we both alluded to. Not to speak for myself in this regard, but we both alluded to how we were just expecting a little bit more. And I'm going to get into my theory, but I'm going to let y'all have the floor. And then I'm going to get into my theory as to why the ending felt different.
You want that one, Gary?
Yeah, I can go first. I'm a photographer, so I'm always looking forward to the cinematography, like how it was shot and how it looked. And me and my girl, we saw that IMAX, so we got the full experience. So the way the frames was moving compared to where we was sitting, like I was just laser focused, and I just like the colors and all that. And I like my man, the lead vampire. What was my man?
Remick.
He was hilarious. You didn't know whether to take him serious. Yeah. You didn't know whether to take him serious, but he's just playing around this, that, and the third. And I like the dynamic between the two twins, and I also like the dynamic of music just throughout the film, like how it was utilized, how it could have been a weapon, how it was bringing people together, this, that, and the third. So, yeah, I enjoyed it all around for sure. We might see it again. We did miss, like, the opening. I think we missed, like, the first 5 minutes of it. But we probably had it in mind to go check it out again.
Nah, I like that. I agree. We're going to go see it. We didn't go see what Aspen. So, that first thing he said, Dad, I'm coming this weekend. We're going to see Sinners. I was like, I've seen it already. He's like, bruh, you're going to have to see it again. Like, this right here, bro. Like 16-year-olds, man, at this point.
Oh, man. Young Ashman.
Yeah, man. So so we're gonna go see it again in IMAX. I didn't see it IMAX. I saw it regular.
You want to see the difference? You want to see the difference?
I want to see it. Everybody says it's different. Because I was like, if I'm gonna pay to see it twice, because I knew I was gonna have to. I said, let me just hold off on the IMAX messing with his ass. But for the most part, man, like I enjoyed it. I love the twins. I love the music that was in, especially the blues. I don't think the blues gets enough homage and stuff that it should. Nice. I love the stories I hear coming out, how the twins played on to the African deity part, and I love I do like Remy because I don't think he was like a villain. I think it's one of those things he became the villain, and I think that's what I like about it because I don't think he genuinely. I mean, don't get me wrong, he became the oppressor that he was not trying to be, and even when you heard his backstory, I do feel like I wish we got a little bit more. But you can only do so much, and honestly, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna throw it out there. They could have made this shit 3 hours, and I would have watched all 3 hours like Oppenheimer. I would have, you know what I'm saying? I would have did that, like, you know, because I was that invested. And I think it's hard because some people are not about to do all that just because I would. But like, I would have want beginning and end. Give me a backstory on everybody. Let's go. I'll sit here. Hey, somebody made a good, and when he first said it, I was like, this dude is an idiot. But he said, you know what? I would have liked it to be a TV show. And I was like, I thought he was an idiot when he said it. But then now I'm thinking, yeah, I would have liked that broken down, but they would have canceled it, pissed me off, and that would have been that. But ultimately, it was dope. I thought all the characters were good. I thought, shout out to Michael B. Jordan because he really played both twins in a way that you thought there was two different people. You don't really see that. Like, you don't really, I ain't felt that since watching an old Eddie Murphy film when Eddie would do his characters or Martin would do the characters, and you get lost at like, oh, that's Martin. More so Eddie, I would say, because you would get lost, or Jamie too. Like, you know, so it's one of those things to where I thought it was great. If I had to pick, the only thing, like I said, I just wanted more depth a little bit with just the characters. Like, I wanted to know why Remy, like, how did he get where he's at? Are there more vampires? Like, I worry more. And then I hear this too, and I think Rock, maybe you said it, or maybe I saw it online at this point. I don't know. Somebody's talking about, I don't want a part 2, but I kind of want a part 2 and a prequel. Like, I really do. Like, I really, you know, I really do. It's so much backstory that I want to know. Like, I want to know more about the twins, like this upbringing, like the guitar. But I really, with this, I love how it was all called Sinners. And I love how they did the play on with music, because if you grew up in the church, like a lot of the references that they were making was like, if still today holds true with certain people in the church. And I think it was a phenomenal film. And I'm going to challenge people because two things I heard that I did not like. I originally, when I heard this film, I compared it to Dusk to Dawn. That was just seeing the preview. And then when you see it, Dusk to Dawn had Mexican folklore, but this is whole thing with just Black culture in general. Like, it's a whole different thing. And I feel like everybody to a point was represented the best way culturally, especially the Irish scene. That was dope. And the other thing, I've seen people who overly like, oh, I'm not gonna, if God tell you don't go see Sinners, okay, don't go see Sinners. But at the same time, like, go see Sinners. So
yeah, it was I agree with both of you. It was an incredible film. But here's my theory. Okay. I think we all have heard the rumors about Brian Kluger pitching this to Marvel. The Blade story. Okay. And it was very obvious. It was first of all, if you remember the original Blade 1998, who was the villain? It was played by Steven Dorff. Okay, white guy. All right, who's the villain in this? Vampire, white guy. All right, let's just get that out the way. Okay, so that was very obvious. All right, we all remember Blade is also half man, half vampire. Okay, at the end. All right, and why the ending was kind of like, oh, okay, this is different. I feel like that was a segue where whichever character, it was a Smoke or Stack. One of them, I think it ended up being Stacks, but it could have been Smoke. One of them, I know Stacks got bit fully, died, and then came back. But I think they could have did it where maybe Smoke got bit, but it didn't affect him fully, similar to Blade, right? We all know Blade, his mother got bit, gave birth to him, and that's how he had both, vampire and he remained man. I just feel like he was going to take it there to then have Blade at least be half man, but because he had that vampire blood, he could also live on eternally, similar to how Stax and his girl ended up doing. And that would have been similar to how Captain America, after the first Avenger, went into the ice, got frozen. This universe, it would have could have brought Blade into this universe. I just think because, Marvel didn't want it, he had to switch up the ending a little bit, and I think that's why the ending kind of felt slightly empty. To your point, there's more backstory with Remick, more backstory about the twins. Definitely is there, and they may turn it into a show. Who knows, or just a limited. Who knows? But I just think it's too much of a coincidence that he tied in vampires, and it wasn't intended to be the Blade story that introduced Blade into the MCU. I really think that's where they were going. But ultimately, I don't think so much it was Marvel rejecting his story. I think they just felt like it was too much of an independent intellectual property and they they love Ryan Coogler at Marvel. Black Panther set it off for them. That brought in a whole black audience that Marvel did not have. So they love Ryan Coogler. They already got him doing Black Panther 3. I just think that because of maybe their mutual respect, they just said, we see where you're going, but that's more of your intellectual property. You should put that out on your own. And then, but I think they also mutually agree that, kind of tweak it a little bit so it's not insinuated that is a Blade type story. And so I think that's where the ending kind of, because like I said to you, it just kind of felt like, okay, it's just different, but I really think that he really intended to go a different direction with that, and I think that direction was Blake. And there was a lot of other, clues like the what was it? First and foremost, I'm glad they got I can't stand horror movies, so I'm glad they got scary parts out in the beginning with especially the church in the very beginning. I was like, okay, all right, I'm okay. All right, y'all got me. I'm good. That it? Then they got us with the snake real quick. But then after that, it wasn't really. It was just more suspenseful. Like they built it up to where dude went to go take a piss and you was like, oh shit, he about. But they just built it up, and then it was like
it was more.
It was more suspenseful after they got the quote unquote jumpy, scary scenes out the way. But
not even cut you off, Rock. One thing I was going to say, and Gary could speak to it because he horror movies you've seen too, and the vampire one. One I didn't really. This was the first vampire movie I got outside of. It's one of the first one. I'm not going to say the other one, but it's one. They didn't give you too much backstory on the vampires in general. Like you don't really know, not so much how Remy became a vampire, because you never really saw them turn somebody. That was different for me. I don't recall.
He just okay, what did he just do? Drop from the sky? Like when they introduced him and then he walked.
Yeah.
Where the hell did you come from? So that was a little.
But even so, how this I think it saw so much, and I think the way I'm gonna say two things too. I'm gonna go because your Marvel point. I thought of something when you were saying it, but I took him dropping from the sky. I'm glad you say that. Because the music reference was so heavy, I took it as him like Lucifer falling from the sky.
See, that's why so I think that's why I was trying to explain to Beth, my girl, that in the sense that too, I didn't think of it that way. But I was like, what was the symbolism dropping like that with the sun coming down still? And he was on fire, he was steaming or whatever and all that. So I was curious about that too.
Because it was a lot of church, just musically, the church references growing up that I saw. And even when Little Sammy, I think his name was, or how I thought he was gonna go back to the church I've been spoiled it, my bad, Joe. If you ain't seen it by now, fuck it.
Sorry, spoiler alert.
But I know, my bad. So I thought he was going to go back, but the segue real quick back to the Marvel point, Rock, you were making. Like, I really think it was. I think two things. I don't think Marvel know what the fuck they really want to do right now. And I'm gonna be honest. And I really, and it's not taking nothing away from the movies they have coming out. I think those were just the rollouts. But I think they're in this trying to see what sticks right now. Because I think the allure of Marvel is Daredevil is not. I mean, it's cool, but it ain't hitting like it was before.
Nobody.
It's cool. It's a little slow. It's like super slow. Like, but I don't think they know what they want to do right now. And I think Ryan, in a sense, like even this, like I feel like the best I can say is like he put his foot in it, but like you could tell he switched it up. Like you could tell a pivot from where they were. And I really would like to see how he would have did it with Blade, because you remember Blade's backstory, it had something to do with his mom. In like the original, so like how he would have tied all that in, like it's crazy. But like I don't know, man. Like it was dope though, but I just feel like it is just those backstories, man. Like if I could have, like, and we'll probably never get them. Like it's one of those movies like I would watch again, like I'm gonna do this week. But I think after this, it's gonna be hard for me to watch it unless I run across that one person. Like you know, you get the homie, that one black homie, like you ain't never seen Sinners.
Right.
Like, bro, come on.
Did y'all have a favorite scene out the whole movie?
Yeah, when you stuck your tongue in my coos in it.
Yeah,
that shit was hilarious.
That was the time. They were very bogle. Everybody read. You didn't watch TV. It wasn't like people were intellectuals. You know, like it wouldn't matter if you was in the South or not. And people were, but they used their language. So yeah, like, they were very. The scene with Delroy Lindo in the car talking about his friend, that was an impactful scene. Just describing the time. Right?
Yeah.
Very time setting scene in the lines. And then of course I think unequivocally the best scene of the movie was the performance. Yeah,
that
like
shit was cold.
And nobody saw that coming. Where he tied in, the
hip hop,
the future and past ancestors of both blacks, the Asian community, because a lot of people didn't know that too. Asian community was heavy down there as well. A lot of people don't know, like the Asians were primarily brought here to help build the railroad system. A lot of people don't know that, right? So they were all over the country just like black people. But yeah, just how that musical sequence, just how they tied all in, it was unexpected, which made it even, I was like, oh, I've never seen that in film that I can recall. Like, I mean, you see it in musicals, but in this light, with this, it's supposed to be a horror film, and it's like, oh shit, we just went totally left for a second, back in with the burning, and then Remick is, licking his chops like all of these people. What I mean? Like he reeled you back in that way. So that was dope.
Yeah.
That was those two films, those two scenes in particular.
Yeah, man. That was probably one of, and Jim, just the backstory of how he did it. I thought, it was all. I think the first shot with the twins to me was like real cold.
That was cold, yeah.
Yeah, that very first shot, because we seen it in the preview, but when you actually see it, it's like, yo, this is dope. Like, but like, I think I'm so addicted to all of it. I ain't gonna lie, it was just dope. Like, but it's something to watch again because I feel like the symbolism that they had, which is so open for interpretation, I just still think it's something to see. Like,
Yep. But again, shout out to Ryan Coogler, man. Incredible film. Sinners was an incredible movie. And hope he keeps doing well. But it's already surpassed its budget of 100 million. It's now at I think 180 million. So keep going, keep climbing. People go again, watch it again, watch it a third time. Go support this black film as well. Right. That's very important. supporting our Black directors, our Black filmmakers, our Black writers. You know, go support it also for that. Yeah, we should. All right. People. About to get into the real MCs with our top 5 or 10. All right. And because of, this film, Sinners, I just wanted to, all the great talent, young talent, up and coming talent in this film. I just wanted to, just give a shout out to, all of the current up and coming Black actors and actresses that's just killing it in film today. It's only 13 on this list. I know there's more. Please point out some that I may have forgotten, but I just wanted to highlight just a few that have been doing their thing in the game. Again, that are young in the game, people may have forgot about in the game. So first one, I just want to bring up Viola Davis, of course, just a legend in the game. All right, should have probably 3 more Oscars. All right, other than her 1.
I really like her in action films. She be getting busy in action films.
Yo, facts.
I really like her in action films. Yeah, Viola Davis getting busy.
Facts. Of course, Michael B. Jordan, who we just saw with Sinners. All right. The DeWanda Wise. All right. If you haven't seen her, she was recently in Jurassic Park Dominion. She's also been in a whole bunch of other projects as well. But just again, up and coming actress, killing the game. Daniel Kaluuya, again, his performance as Fred Hampton, just iconic. Again, what is it? The Michael B, the Tom Clancy. Oh, Without Remorse. Do a part 2. Daniel Kaluuya should be the villain. I want to see Daniel Kaluuya and Michael B go at it in that film. That would be dope, because we need to see more of that too, right? Because we were going to get it with Michael B and Chadwick, right? And we saw it with Daniel Kaluuya, Lakeith Stanfield. We need to see more of those. Like I'm still mad to this day we never got like a Denzel, Will Smith at their height. Like those moments. I feel like we need, like, or Angela Bassett and Viola Davis at their somewhat. I mean, I know Angela Bassett was way before, but I want to see that. I want to see more of those collaborations now with the actors and actresses coming together and making great films and being like Heat, right? De Niro and Pacino. I would love to see that with, one of the Daniel Kaluuya and John Boyega. I don't know, but just you would love to see that. Sorry.
Daniel. Y'all know Daniel's supposed to be coming out with a movie like based off Barney or something like that. It's like a horror show.
I heard that. That's a little
dinosaur.
Barney film, like some
horror. What Barney do?
That's what.
But yeah, it's supposed to be like a horror flip. Yeah, it's supposed to be.
It's like a horror. I'm just trying to see where that's going. That's
I think from what I've seen, I think it's going to be like what Jonathan Majors, and we'll bring him up as well. Another again, I know everything happened and all that, but he's still an incredible actor. But I think it's going to be similar to the previews that we're seeing with Major's film, Magazine Dreams, how he's a sex bodybuilder. I think it's gonna be something like that, where Daniel Kaluuya is playing the guy in the costume, but he, I think it's gonna be a flip, like he doesn't want to do it or whatever, and he just turns crazy. I think it's gonna be something like that.
Oh, that's hard. Yeah, it's going there. I can see that'd be hard. I like.
Yeah. I think they're gonna make it. They're gonna take it totally left. It's like, what the hell?
They're gonna be revealing the truth.
No, I'm waiting for him to get through this list, because what I'm saying, I've been waiting for this shit, because this.
Here we go. All right, we got of course Tessa Thompson killing the game still. All right,
you know what I'm saying. I'm sorry, that's my ex. We didn't really work out like that. I don't really talk about that. I'm married. I'm happy. It's cool. We didn't work out, Tessa. Like, you ain't seen it. It's all good.
Zendaya, of course. Hey, yes, people, she is Black. All right, let's
And let me pause here. Like, did you say there was no order to this list, right?
No, at this point, okay. I'm just going off.
Okay. I just want to make sure, because she topped this list. That's Zendaya.
Oh no, there's no order. Like, number 1 or 2. No.
Okay, I'm gonna check that off my list first, so we gonna move on.
Austin Sanders, all right. Also young, talented actor, killing it. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And who we got? Mahershala Ali. All right, who should be playing Blade right now?
He should definitely be playing Blade 1000.
It was perfect. It was perfect.
He ain't got no job. He ain't playing Blade. Go ahead.
And I hope I'm saying her name right. Ao Denbury. I hope I'm saying her name. And then last we got Andre Holland. And then also I mentioned John David Washington as well. All right, Des, who you got? Who we missing?
When Malcolm X took his glasses off and he slammed them down. First of all,
right, hit the.
First of all, I get, there's a few things I get. I get, that I missed because, hey, I didn't go see the movie in time. So that made threw the synergy off with, the real MC segment, and I get that things happen. We all going through it right now. The Lakers, me not watching the movie when I say I was going to do it, like dental surgery. It's so many things going on right now. That's like, your life just slow down. But the very first question, you couldn't even say her name right. And Lil Baby made the list. And I get it. She holding up her Emmy. But Kiki Powers said, don't play me. Don't waste my motherfucking time and don't play me. Yeah, I said Kiki. Akila the B, motherfucker. Akila the B. She gave you Akila the B. Don't you question Kiki. And if you don't want to put Kiki on it, Journey. So I'm let.
Who?
Journey. You know Journey? He's by you. Lil Journey. Journey. Journey.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, that's that. I'll give you that one. I give you.
Now, and I get you put the dad from I think he was on there from Snowfall on there and shit like that. But Sterling K. Brown said, "What the fuck is your problem?"
I was slipping.
Again,
on that one, I did forget. Sterling K. Brown.
This is a lot when I looked at this list, and you know what I'm saying.
I wasn't trying to get like people we know. Will Smith, we know. Jeffrey Wright, we know.
And I get I'm not done with your list now.
We do know Viola Davis too, but
no, she cool. We don't question Viola. But we do question why Regina King ain't on this motherfucking list.
Okay, that's
we do question why.
Also, what? In my mind too. I was thinking more relevancy. Regina King is primarily stepped behind the camera though. She stepped behind the camera. She's directing now more.
You know what? That's fair. Let me move Regina out.
As far as where my mind went, it wasn't no disrespect because I already knew I was leaving out a whole bunch of people. Not my man making a phone.
Okay. Angela Bassett said, I got a long running show called 911.
Yeah, we know Angela since.
Yeah, he said fuck you too, Angela. He said fuck you too, Angela.
No.
Now. Oh wait, hold on. Okay, yeah, I was thinking the same thing. He put him on there. Blade ain't really happening, so I don't know why he on the list. I get it. You want me to tell him that now? You want me to tell? Coleman Domingo said, "What the fuck is your problem with me?"
I forgot. Yeah, I definitely
he on that bullshit. I think it's really me. I think I missed that day. I was supposed to go see Sinners. I didn't, and me and the boys, we a little bit off right now. You know what I'm saying? It's my fault. It's my fault. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he cold. You
know what I'm saying? Wait, hold on. We know. He said, so we did get Blade, but Adonis Hodges wants to know, he may be a Black Panther, possibly. He may be, we still don't know. But he said, why did he make the list?
Yeah.
Oh, he said, man. He said, man, he don't fuck with you.
No.
He don't fuck with you. Look, wait. Okay, I got two of the homies from Atlanta, Brian Tyree and Lakeith. They said, what's their problem? What's your problem with them?
It wasn't. There's no problem. Who was
the first? Y'all, I heard Lakeith call y'all back. This list is fucked up.
Look again. If y'all were adding people to the list, this is what's it? The list, as they say sometimes, the list is fluid, right?
No,
y'all can add people. All right,
it's fluid.
Definitely, that was my bad. Sterling K. Brown.
disrespected Sterling K. Angela,
I haven't seen them lately. Like Regina King, I just haven't seen them lately. That's all that was. No disrespect to Regina. She's a legend. There's no disrespect. It was just relevancy. I was thinking about people who I've seen lately, who've been doing their thing. That's all. But if y'all adding to the list, those are great names to add.
Sterling K just had an amazing TV show.
I know. No, that's a fact. That was when I definitely just him and Coleman Domingue. I just definitely forgot that.
What? I normally would be like, I was gonna correct them. When the list is out, fellas. No, save this shit.
You're fair. Your critique. Now, some of the names, but
now you just being disrespectful. Like Kiki, you being disrespectful to Kiki.
I'm not being disrespectful. She ain't better than half the women. I forgot Audra Day. Like, come on, like it's. There's levels. I'm sorry.
That is
no disrespect.
That is Kiki.
There's no disrespect. There's just levels.
Disrespecting Kiki is like showing up to your family reunion with a white girl.
You saying in the beat? I mean, she did nope. She done other things, but it's like okay, that's nice. That's cute.
That's Kiki Palmer. She was in the Jordan Peele movie and played and killed it.
That's what I said. It was, no, I said that.
No, you said nope to Kiki on the list.
Look, Gary, do you have somebody? Do you got a few people? Look,
I can't remember my man's name. He played MLK in Selma.
Oh, he got a TV show out too.
Yeah.
He be on all kind of movies.
He got a TV show out. He got a TV show out.
Yeah, the Western. I think. I know the show you talking about. There's just the Western, but yeah. I forgot his name.
He's been killing. Like every time we see a movie and he's in it, it's like, oh yeah, it's gonna be good.
I mean, not according to Rock. I mean,
again, I just forgot.
Yeah, I forgot my man's name. I'm real bad with names. Hold on.
Yeah, I'm pulling them up now.
I forgot some of the names.
His name is that was by Ava.
David. Hold on.
Yeah, it is David. Why is it not? You hate
I don't even want to. I ain't gonna even butcher his last.
Nah, go ahead, Des Butcher. You talk about me.
or we're not going to do that today. No, we're not gonna do that.
That Wakanda came out.
But Andre Holland is on here, and guess who else is on here? Look, Keith.
I forgot about Lakeith. No, you're right about Lakeith. But again, I just haven't. Again, what is he? It's just the relevancy with that. I just forgot because I just haven't seen him lately.
This man disrespect. Comment on here. Why ain't Comment make your Comment a good actor?
Comment. That's our next one though. Top 5 rappers who became actors.
The number one is Common. There's nobody. No.
Will Smith.
Damn, Will Smith.
I forgot about Will Smith.
It's debatable. Okay, here's where it's debatable.
Because I like most.
Ice Cube, Ice T, Ice Cube.
No. Here's where it's debatable. Will Smith is number one. It's Will Smith, Queen Latifah, on Common. Here's why it's Common. Common is close to getting the EGOT.
Okay, but that don't mean he one of the best rappers or actors. What you mean? That don't mean nothing. That just means he got a grant.
The disrespect to Common. That man done transitioned.
You put him as number one, and you left out.
No. I said Will Smith is now. No, I said
initially you said Common
because I always forget Will Smith as a rapper.
That's why I was like, damn, you're right. I forgot.
Yeah, I always forget Will Smith as a rapper because we don't respect him as a rapper. I respect Will Smith as a rapper. I just forget him as a rapper.
I had Will Lenium on cassette.
Will Lenium was jamming, fam. Try to tell people.
I did too. Man, I still listen to the Man in Black anthem.
I listened to that the other day. The guy go like,
it's the MLB. It's the MLB. Matter of fact, Will, we need you back, man. We need you, America. It's time to forgive Will Smith because this shit is
a 3, 2.
Yeah,
what'd you say?
Another Independence Day.
No, Will, don't do Independence Day. You rather do a Wild Wild West again.
Leave
Don't
Bad
do
Boys
that again.
alone. Leave Men in Black alone. Do something.
Please leave Men in Black
Let me
alone.
tell you why we need Will back. Because I love Tom Cruise, but if Tom Cruise can go do what he's doing, we need Will Smith back. But Will Smith, I wasn't mad at you with the slap, but I was mad at you when you didn't make a Bright 2 because I wanted to see part 2 of that movie. Like he need to come back and give us something and stop rapping. That new, even I listened to your new album. Will.
No, the new album, nah, fam.
I listened to it. I listened to it, Will.
Yeah,
it's
not it.
Yeah, no, he just need to do features and remixes at this point. Like,
yeah,
you good.
You could have left that Joyner Lucas feature could have been your last thing. You would have left out on top. Nobody would have questioned that shit.
Facts.
But then you dropped this motherfucking album, Will. And then for the first thing when I heard this shit, I stopped it. I said, "Am I in another universe where Chris Rock slapped the shit out of Will Smith?" Because that's the only reason he got to have CTE. What is it? That's what it's called, CTE. The concussion,
right?
To make this album. Because no, and I'm not saying it because you a bad rapper, Will. It's just this ain't your time. Like at some point as a rapper,
like the album as well. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's not it.
Features, I agree with Rock. Will Smith, like I would want a Will Smith man. Let me see if I can do that. I can't afford Will Smith. I can't afford Will Smith right now. But I don't know. Maybe I can right now. I don't know. Maybe
But yes, people. Again, there was some people that I left out because I knew my fellas would come through, and they would have the people that we need to add. So it's again.
Can we put another one next week about like Keke Palmer ranking? Because you treating Keke Palmer like Chris Paul.
We gonna do her top 5. No, her top 3 movies.
Akilah the B.
Nope. And Family Reunion. Done. All right, we good. That ends that. All right, cool.
She is a black national. What did
there's no diss. There's just levels to. I'm talking as far as acting. There's just levels.
You said black actors and actresses in film today. The Lucky 13. You didn't even scratch your 13 with Keke. Like you didn't like Keke. She gave you a Kila.
You know what? You're right.
You put that little girl up there who be making all the movies for the white folks and don't even care about none of the. Don't get me wrong. She cold. I like her. She cold.
To my Zendaya.
Nah, not Zendaya. You know what I'm saying? Zendaya was up in Oakland. She fucked with us. And then the girl you couldn't pronounce her name. She fucked with us, but
she up and coming. She doing her thing.
Yeah, she stay on Saturday.
She got a Golden Globe.
Now the awards count, but when Common had them.
How many people got EGOTs? Close to it. And you said Common was the best rapper turned actor.
That's because I forgot Will Smith as a rapper.
Gary and I brought up Will Smith, and then you was like, "Oh,
yes," but you gotta forgive me. I keep forgetting Will Smith as a rapper because he put that trash ass album out, and I'm trying to like clean it out my system. That has nothing to do with me, like because I was like, "Oh wait, Will Smith, yes," but he put that album out. It's like I don't want to remember Will for that. It's kind of like when Kobe turned, like when he tore his Achilles. I don't want to remember that. Like I don't remember that. That's Will Smith's album. I don't want to remember that shit. Like I'm happy he did it.
It was bad. It was
like,
bad.
It's like just come back to acting, Will. We need you. Like
people. As we always like to do in the show. What's the question? And I dare anybody to name 10 films that Keke Palmer has been in. That's the question. All right.
Oh, wow.
Let's go there.
Look, she just did the one with SZA. No. Look, Google. I'm gonna Google this shit.
Nah, hey, we just
Scream Queens, Joyful. I ain't never heard of True. Oh, she was True Jackson VP. Yeah, she was True Jackson. Yo, disrespect to jump in. Disrespect to Keke. She was in Hustlers with J-Lo. She was in Hustlers with Alice, Medea's Family Reunion.
So was Cardi B. All right, that was Cardi B's acting.
She's in good company. Those are good, wholesome women. Like she was, like.
People, what's the question? It's not a question. It's more of a statement. Again, that we made earlier. Go support Black intellectual property. Go support Black film. Support your local artists, your local DJs, your local MCs, your local filmmakers, your local podcasts. Just support Black intellectual property, man. Because it's important. It's important right now to do so. Ryan Coogler again put out an incredible film that was intellectual property. He wrote that from beginning to end. And that was his idea, right? That's his brainchild. So, just for all of that to come together, we just need to go support it, right? Just how, we supported Spike Lee, we supported Tyler Perry, right? Ryan Coogler is that guy we need to support right now. Jordan Peele, right, is also in there. But just in film in particular, women as well. Nia de Casa, go support her work. Okay, black filmmaker as well. Just like I said, I just feel like as of right now, where the climate is, where this culture is, where this country is, it's important, man, for Black people to support Black people. Support if you're gonna pay some money to watch a film, watch a Black film. Again, especially that's intellectual property. Especially that's telling a story that a lot of people at this point have forgotten, and they are trying to erase from our history. Okay, they are completely trying to erase slavery and Jim Crow and Reconstruction and make the Klan a fucking national organization and not a fucking terrorist organization. They're literally trying to do that. And so films like this take out the vampire aspect, take out how raunchy the film was. Look at what they are telling you, right? And look at what he's talking about and hear the history. He clearly did a deep dive into knowing about the Deep South. Again, I believe he was inspired by his uncle or his grandfather. Like, he really took the time and invested the time to write this project and to give us this piece of art where, again, he was also speaking to history and speaking to truth. And that truth, again, is trying to be erased, trying to completely be forgotten. So that's my statement. It's not a question, people. It's just more of a statement. Just go support intellectual property. Go support just black businesses, Black entrepreneurs, just Black everything right now, and that's not to dismiss anything white or nothing like that, but I am Black first. And we are going to support our Black people first, just like any other culture supports their people first. All right. And he alluded to it in the movie. The Asian people, as much as they was in the Black community, they were still making the lady making the signs. She still made the signs for her stores first. All right. So, and there's nothing wrong with that. We just have to be more proud about that, especially right now during this time. So, that's people. Thank everybody for tuning in, listening in. Greatly appreciate everybody for tuning in who will watch now, who will watch later, either on YouTube, Twitch. Again, thanks for everybody who joined on IG Live. Des, Scary, is anything, shout outs, anything y'all want to say to the people, man?
Always good to be here. Always good to vibe. I agree with everything Rock says, but it just makes you wonder why he didn't put Keke Palmer on the list.
I already knew you was going there.
Oh man, it's always good to be on here with my brothers, man. I see, Des, I just realized something. The poster behind you is my favorite all-time movie, The Wood.
Oh yeah, that's my mom. That was my new one. Rock. I'm gonna mail yours out. I didn't move none side this week. I looked at it.
It's all good. But yeah, no, Wood is one of them Black. That's like you ain't watched The Wood, you're Black card.
Yeah,
it's like Sinners about to be. If you ain't watch Sinners, like you ain't.
But look, I'll give black people some grace. We out here living paycheck to paycheck. They trying to take off. I'm gonna get y'all till next Black History Month. All right, and you ain't seen Sinners by then. All right, yes, your Black card will be revoked. by then it'll be out on either Netflix or whoever got it.
Damn.
By next Black History Month, I would say Juneteenth, but again, I understand we live in but by next Black History Month, oh yeah, you ain't seen Senate? No, Black.
If you ain't seen it by Black History Month, I don't know what to tell you.
For real. Yeah, for real. Greatly appreciate everybody. Again, it's the HL Podcast. Peace and love, everybody.